Hi, Tom. It's easier for me to make a video, I think, to show you the answer to your question about the Friday, October 31st, 1245 candle. Um, I think this is the one you're talking about here. It's actually 1330 candle, I believe. I'm looking at the same thing you are. Pretty sure I am. Okay, so I'm pretty sure that you were looking at this, and that's really good that you spotted this. I love that you spotted this. Huge downtrend way 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 red 15-minute candles. My God, that's like 2 hours and a quarter of red candles. That's fantastic of you to spot this, especially because look, it was engulfing, etc. So great place to get long. Unfortunately, yeah, you're right. It did not set up. I would have put my top here, my bottom here, and my pivot zone would have been right here at 25,921 and a quarter, but price never got down there. So nothing you can do about it. It's just too strong. It was too strong. If it's just too strong, it won't retrace that far. This one actually did give a probe, which is usually pretty bullish, and it took off to the upside here pretty strongly. The one that I actually traded on this, and I believe that I was trading, or at least I saw this. I can't remember if I traded this or not, but I had marked this one because this one never gave you an entry because it never came down to the 50% level. I was kind of still looking around to see if there was anything here that was going to give you an entry. And this particular move was kind of a two-part move because if you look at the bodies of the candles, you can see that there was a pause in upward movement here for about a half an hour. The two 15-minute candles here had very, very, very thin bodies, and it basically was just resting here before the next leg up. And so when I saw this particular hammer, I really love hammers, and because I really felt like, okay, it came down a lot, right? That was just the second leg of a trip down that started way up here, right? One leg down here and then a big leg down here. So I figured if we're right here, we've still got quite a ways to go until we reach the 50% move up of this leg down, right? Because that's usually going to be a level anyway. So I figured there was a lot of extra space here in that trade. So when I saw this hammer, um, I was very interested in the 50% level of this hammer. So this is a few candles later, like about 5 candles later, and I went ahead and I did put the levels on. Um, Here's the high, right at 26,023. Here's the low down here at 25,971.75, and then I waited, and then I had a perfect entry on this particular candle. As you can see, not only did it hit the 50% level, but it also hit the cloud, which I can't even remember what cloud that is. That is a 10-second 600 900, which is about a 6 times 100. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's the 15-minute cloud actually, 15-minute 9 period EMA. So yeah, and if you want to take a close up of that, that happened at 1500 hours on Halloween. So Friday, October 31st, 1500 hours. I'll just show you that one. Friday, October 31st, 1500 hours. If we can get back that far. Sometimes I don't have the data available to me to get back that far with a really tight time frame chart. So let me put a 15-second on it instead of a 5 because that way I got enough data to get back there. I think it might take a while here. So basically what I'd like to say while I'm scrolling back here is that yes, your observation about that particular candle was spot on. That was a really good candle. And I mean, another trader might just buy that whole candle, buy the high of that candle without waiting for a full pullback and put a stop below it because it was an amazing area for a pivot up. Um, I believe that a lot of traders probably did take that. In fact, I know they did, just by the price action that follows. So yeah, you're really a really good observation on your part of that particular candle, locating that thing, which I think I actually marked that candle. Here it is. Yeah, I had seen it too. I had marked it, but as you can see, price never came down to it. So good find, good eye. You found a really good one, but yeah, they don't always trigger. If they're that strong, sometimes because they come down that long and that strong, it just bounced and never could look back. Now the one that we are talking about here, the hammer, okay, which I marked on this one over here, right here, this hammer right here, long wicked hammer, right, long wicked hammer. Okay, I marked the high and the low, got my pivot zone here, and price. What do you think it did? This one had enough juice to get down to it, right? So it got down to it down here. It was a fast cross, wasn't till over here, so the entry wouldn't have been till about here. It had already put in your flat bottom green candle, so that's fine. You can just, sometimes it's usually the fast cross comes first, then you get your flat bottom greens, but sometimes you get your flat bottom greens first, and then your MACD cross happens. Wait for both. Make sure you got both. Don't jump the gun and just do when you only got one of the two of those requirements. Okay. As you can see, it came down to that 50% level just about to the tick. Put in your doji and started putting in your flat bottom greens. Your fast cross was here, and then your trade went up from there pretty nicely, very nicely as a matter of fact. If you look to see if you're good at holding things, which I am not, but here's the entry down about right here, and man, beautiful trade, right? So that's my answer to you. As far as the other one goes, I was looking at that one. It didn't totally make sense to me because I just wasn't sure exactly what you're looking at. Maybe I can pull up an email on this screen with that question you had. It looked like it was upside down. That's why I wasn't sure if you were trying to go short or long on that thing. I just wasn't totally sure. Hang on a second here. Let me find that other email from you, if I can. Am I going to get the chance to look at it? Is this it? Okay. So it looks like you put the. It looks to me like you put the Fibonacci box with the extensions up above on a red candle. So if it's a red candle, you're looking for it to continue down. That in that instance, you put this up. You need to put this Fibonacci box upside down. So in other words, the first click is at the top, and the second click is at the bottom, and then that puts the extensions down below. So I think that's what you were thinking. You're looking for this to reverse and continue lower. I'm not sure though. I think that's what you were looking for though, right? Let me know. Okay, that's all I got for you for right now. Do let me know about this particular trade, what you were looking for. Were you trying to get a continuation down based on this red big bar, or were you trying to take it to the north side? Because it's inconsistent. You've got your Fibonacci box shows your extensions to the north side, but the candle is red, so that indicates down to the south side. Okay, so let me know on that one. Okay, Tom, thanks.